Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to the men on the highways and the byways that are pushing out this word in truth and sincerity, and to the remnant, men, women, and children of the elect. To you all I say shalom. My name is Ahmawan, Ahyash, and I'm back with another lesson through the power and the spread of Yahawashi. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. And this lesson is going to be inspired by really just my commute home from work. Well, I went to work and then I went to camp, and on my way back home from camp, man, this lesson is inspired by my commute home, man, because 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are, I want to keep it PG, but man, you're really worthless. You're worthless. You serve no purpose to Yahweh Shai. Our people are degenerates. They're evil. Okay? They don't really have any regard for anybody but themselves. And they're quick to, and like the scriptures say, that their feet are quick to do evil. It amazes me. I mean, and at this point, I should never be amazed, but some of the stuff that I see, I'd be like, God damn, man, you see why people treat, talk about, blacks, so-called blacks, Latinos, the way they do, and Native Americans the way they do, because y'all give them every reason to, man. Just a bunch of niggas, man, that are never satisfied, that are just careless, and this lesson is just going to straight be I don't know what the title is, but 2/3 of our people really got to go. Like, truly, honestly, and we holding on, we patiently waiting, but we want to see 2/3 of you niggas get fucking destroyed, man, because you deserve it. I'm gonna start off with the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 8. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, "Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil." Okay, and what's happening in this world, and what has been happening for the most of your pathetic lives, there is no consequences unless, you may have served some time in jail for some stupid shit you've done, which a lot of our, people have, but the Lord ain't put you to death for your adulterous ways, for the abominable foods you eat, for serving other gods, so on and so forth. How you treat your own people, your own brothers. The Lord ain't put you to death right away, so therefore you feel like there's nobody you got to answer to. You don't have a conscience as to your power. Okay? So your heart is fully set in to do evil. Verse 12 says, "Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him." Okay? "But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High." Okay? So your days are prolonged, and you think you getting away with this evil, with your lifestyle, but you're not. The Lord got you, got a microscope on you, actually, and the angels, the Lord gonna send death angels, man, to destroy 2/3. Okay? This is the time that we're in. This is the season that we're in. Okay? I just thought of a quick precept. I got precepts lined up for this lesson, but I just thought of Amos 9 and 10. The book just right to the point. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake or prevent us. Okay? And because sentencing against an evil work is not executed speedily, right? You got this mentality that no evil shall not overtake you, or no evil shall come your way. But that couldn't be furthest from the truth. All right? Yahawashi, there's an event that's going to take place in this world known as Jacob's trouble. Okay? And the Lord got it out for you niggas, man. 144, Kal Halal Yahawah. All right? That's the time that we're in, because we're at the end of this thing. We're at the end of Esau's kingdom, end of his rulership. You know, the scriptures say everyone shall sit in the judgment seat of Yahawashi, Hamashiach, right? And within that, you're going to be judged for the things that you've done in your life. Okay? We all should be nervous and afraid of that. Okay? Those of us who are in this truth, who are fighting, striving, and believing, we should feel better, but we always have to maintain that healthy measure of fear, so that we can continue to strive to do right. We can, you know what I mean? It keeps us in line, maintaining that healthy fear. You know? Let's get to the precepts that I have lined up. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 3, and verse 19. And it reads, "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil." Right? And even when we go out in the highways and the byways and we do these videos, you know, Jake disregards them because they love darkness rather than light. Because they want their sins to be hid in that darkness. Because when it's dark, you can't see. Right? You can hide your iniquity. You can hide your sin in that darkness. Right? But that light will do what? That light will expose you. That light will expose your evil, wicked ass ways. So men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Right? Verse 20 says, "For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light." Exactly. Because you can see in the light. When you got light, you can see. And then you're exposed. You know? Jake don't like being exposed, boy. You know, Jake get offended at that light. "Neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved." Okay? And that's being exposed for the evil that you do on a daily, at every turn. Right? You can't be told shit. Accountability is you know, it's not your favorite thing. I always say accountability is Jake's kryptonite, man. You know? Jake don't like being held. Jake like to do things when they want, how they want, where they want. 2/3 of these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have adopted that do as thou wilt spirit. Okay, and the Lord is not happy with that. He's not pleased with that. Okay. And we try to give you this truth. We try to give you, share this message of repentance, share this warning, share the truth, share the names of Yahawashi, share the message of repentance, but you refuse to hearken. So the Lord He gonna get with you. Lord gonna get with you. All right. That might be the title of this lesson. The Lord is about to get with 2/3 of our people. I'm laughing, but it's not funny, man. The judgment of Yahawashi ain't gonna be no joke. Real talk. The Lord is fed up with Jake's rebellion, their lack of regard for the word, for the warning, for the prophets. It's crunch time. 2 Ezra 15:3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them that trouble thee, of them, Slakia. 2 Ezra 15:3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So that incredulity is their unbelief. And the scriptures is saying, let not that incredulity trouble thee. When you see men not fearing Yahawashi, not hearkening, especially because you'll see Jake so-called being successful in this world, and they don't believe in yet. They don't give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi. They don't believe in this message. They don't believe in this truth. They don't believe in repentance. They already think what they doing is the right thing because of their success and their advancement in this world. But that's just an illusion. That's an illusion, man. The love of money that they have, drives them to be completely evil. So the Lord is telling us don't let the incredulity, don't let that unbelief troubles us that speak against thee. Yeah, because this truth is only for the elect, and the elect that's a small number. Okay? So it's gonna feel like, this truth in his body and the brothers against the whole world, because that's really what it is. The Lord ain't give this truth to everybody, man. That's why it says, let all the unfaithful die in their unfaithfulness. The Lord got death prepared for 2/3 of our people. He got death prepared. All right. This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 12. 2 Peter 2:12, it says, but these as natural brute beasts. Okay? Because a lot of our people, even the ones that know they're Israelites, okay? You got guys right now that are talking about Moses wasn't in the truth. He left the truth. Moses left the truth. John the Baptist fell out the truth. Saying they serve a nigga God. That they go to a real nigga university. You got men saying that the names of Yahawashi basically don't matter. Got guys teaching things about the lake of fire. They're switching up the names. All of this madness that's going on. The Lord sees you. The Lord sees you. Scattering the flock. Hey, the Lord is not pleased by this. 2 Peter 2:15. But these as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. I mean, hey, man, you Israelites are corrupted, man. And you're going to perish for your ulterior motives, right? And not being genuine about serving Yahawashi. That's real. The Lord gonna do you in. Verse 13, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count in pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. That deception, man. Jake is really, really, really deceptions, and a lot of these false teachers, these false prophets, they come with, smooth words. You know, they come with, you know, that catering the woman, trying to please the woman, the black woman, opening up their congregation to the black woman, trying to cater to them as if they got a place in this thing. It's a lot of weirdo shit going on in the you know, amongst Israelites, amongst men who know that they're Israelites and teach. You know? Verse 14, having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, right? Beguiling unstable souls, being taking advantage of men and women who are weak in the faith, or who are new in the faith and are vulnerable in the faith, taking advantage of them. The Lord is going to fuck you over, man. All right, beguiling unstable souls, and heart they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children. Okay, for it says, which have forsaken the right way, because the Lord introduced you to the right way. It says, and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. And we see that you guys, a lot of you guys have sold out. You taken the bag and you chose the beast over Yahawashi. Actually, the Lord didn't want you. And you're still going to be judged for it. What else I got? I got a couple more real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 22, it says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. All right. So let the multitude perish, man. Let the majority, 2/3 of our people perish. All right, which was born in vain, because the Lord didn't. The purpose that you serve was to be a 2/3. All right. You were born with vanity, with the spirit of vanity, because the Lord couldn't use you as a vessel to do what's right, to serve Him, to do your part in gathering the elect. So He put you on the other side of the fence, and He's going to destroy you. He's going to destroy you. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, right? And my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. And that's the elect, that grape, right? The Lord's plant. Okay. What else I got? I got one more, and I'll wrap it up. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65. In verse 12, it says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. And this is what I mean, and this is what we mean when we say 2/3 gotta go, and they will go, and the Lord's got a heavy judgment up here. The Lord ain't messing around, bro. We in that time where the decisions that you've made and that you continue to make, with a lack of humility, with the lack of remorse, with no regard for Yahawashi, the Lord will number you to the sword. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. All right. So you ain't got no excuse, because the Lord is calling our people, and a majority of us, I don't want to say us, majority of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're not hearkening. You refuse. It says, because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. And you choose to do everything against the words and the law of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. The Lord don't delight in that. The Lord delights in those who are given an effort. Okay? It talks about the diligence and the reward for diligence in the scriptures in the book of Hebrews. Okay? Scriptures say the Lord is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. All right? That's a delight in the Lord's eyes. Making the sacrifice necessary to do right. Not make this about you. Make this about the Lord. Praising the Lord for the Spirit to do what's right. To make the sacrifices necessary. Especially for those of us who are on the highways and the byways, man. We got to thank the Lord every day. Every single day. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi for revealing my purpose unto me. Giving me an opportunity to serve you. Doing right in your eyes. Okay? Because we could very easily be on the other side, man. You could be a 2/3, not listening, hearkening, and in the world just completely through. All right? So being humble in that is extremely important. Because the Lord is about to judge 2/3 of our people. I'll just read this. It says, verse 13, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahawashi, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Who's the ye that shall be hungry? 2/3 of our people. You shall be hungry. Because it says, behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. 2/3 of our people will be hungry, be thirsty. It says, behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So you're going to be hungry, thirsty, and ashamed because you didn't just make the right decision. Okay? You chose your comfortability over fighting. Over getting in this truth, fighting, coming outside of yourself and making the right sacrifice. All right? That is required in these last days. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops, the great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.